waiting for this is honestly annoying because I don't really know when it's gonna be translated, but I guess Wednesdays are one of those days. But to wait so long. It's one of those chapters I'm looking forward to most, but to wait so long for it. Well, either way, this review is very late, but it's Eden Zero, and I am the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, here to bring you a summary of this chapter. First of all, a pretty cute cover page of the witch cooking. Yeah, she can do many things, even cook, although I don't really know. Either way, we see the gang eating, well, of course, but it's worth noting that surprisingly it's Shiki who has more plates than Rebecca, and Rebecca has been shown to be quite a big eater. They're actually worried about meeting the master, although it's only Rebecca and Happy that's going to meet that person, because apparently, according to Rebecca, she has never ever met the master before, so she doesn't know exactly what is to expect. However, I think this chapter is actually giving a clue. So Pino and Shiki, like a pair of brothers and sisters, it's actually pretty adorable how they say, "I know, let's go explore," and that sounds great. It's almost like they're brothers and sisters. Well, in a way, I guess they would be. I mean, granted, however, Shiki was called the grandson of the Demon King, and well, Pino and the witches creations of the Demon King. So maybe that's not exactly brother and sister, but I prefer to say it like that. So either way, they are going around. Well, it turns out that Pino actually knows a lot of different things around them, including that the fact that the reason why water is flowing in the air in this blue planet is apparently because water is this planet's precious ether. And since ether has been known to be in every living thing and world, then I guess it's like that. But then the gang gets lost, but we switches to the scene back that happened before when Lavina was, well, being confronted by this mysterious guy who actually has to look very similar to another villain from Fairytale called Acnologia, although I doubt it's that kind of a person. Either way, Lavina is being her own self, but it turns out these people walking with her is probably her bodyguards, so the person attacks them and immediately defeats all of them. As Lavina just asks what does this person want, all he says is that she needs to come with him because his job is to take her back home or something like that. So she screams for help, and Shiki actually hears it. And it turns out that this person is actually a robot or actually a cyborg, because Pino does a analyzing and says that about 60% of his body is machine. So I guess that means he's not a complete robot, but still a half robot, like a cyborg. It's not exactly explained what is robot and what is not, but judging from the fact that half of his face and he has his robot arms, I guess we can say almost his entire body, except the lungs maybe. And it turns out that Shiki did not exactly want to help Lavina. Well, that is actually not surprising given how bitchy she is. However, he was taught by the Demon King that when someone shouts that that no, lending a hand to those in need is the first step of tying souls together. People may want to cringe at that line, but actually that is perfect. It's just what Eden Zero is. People may mock all of this power of friendship and stuff like that, but that line itself is the perfect line to summarize that. It's not the fact that you can get superpower just from power of friendship. It's the fact that to understand each other is to understand the soul of one another. And helping another in need is the first step of understanding. Maybe in a way we will understand Lavina now, although no, I doubt it. I mean, I do think she will go through character development. After all, I have a feeling she will be prominent. But for now, she is still the alpha bitch. But it also once again gives another question about we still don't know who the Demon King Sigi really was, but every single scene so far seems to paint him in a very positive light. So if he was the ruler of the Sakura Cosmos, then what turned such a terrifying ruler into a kind-hearted man? Maybe regrets, or maybe he finally did get a heart. It's worth noting that Lavina is actually getting blushing when Shiki is saying that connective heart. Is this the Juvia of this show? Either way, this guy is saying that Shiki is in the way, and all he says that his job is to take people. He doesn't even. But when Shiki questions, what if they don't want to? The guy just answers about there's no need for emotions, but then your souls can't be connected. There's no need for a soul, and he activates an ether gear. Not exactly know what it is though. But Lavina though decides to record this. Why do I have a feeling that if she records this and uploads in her channel and Rebecca sees this, why have I a very big feeling she's going to be very pissed off by that? Well, and because this should actually deserve to Rebecca. So Shiki activates his ether gear and shows a pretty slasher smile. I haven't seen that kind of smile in Shiki yet. I guess he really does have a bloodlust. But then the scene changes to actually an explanation that may actually explain why the guildmaster wants to see Rebecca, and also why Lavina is being targeted. We're switching to the planet Guilds. I think that's the same planet that Elsie was joking about selling the gang to. You know, a planet of civil war, thieves, pirates, slavery, and stuff like that. If that's the same planet, then I can immediately see why. It's completely destroyed, almost like a apocalypse, except one building that houses statues of attractive ladies, while we see an alien, a disgusting looking frog man who is only wanting to have beautiful young girls, as a subordinate mentions that they're gonna deliver more, and this fat frog wants to see beekeepers, which Rebecca and Lavina are. So it's very likely that either the master is working for this guy or he is intending to warn Rebecca about this abduction. Because I have a very big feeling those statues of women that he has are not statues at all. No, I think that is petrified people. And when I mean petrified, think Final Fantasy. Girls that was turned into stones by this disgusting looking frog alien that is hungry for young girls. So far, the plot of that may not exactly be perfectly clear, but we seem to have found the villain of this arc. Or maybe it's gonna be the arc in the Guild's arc. Either way, he already disgusts me, and I cannot wait to see Shiki bust his bubbles. But yeah, this cyborg guy here is talking about sister. While the sisters are not exactly known, I still wonder if that is connected to Eden Zero. It is worth noting though that he very likely is working for this fat frog, who by the name, I think his name was Iliga. Iliga. Isn't that a pun on illegal? Or maybe it's unintentional, who cares? But whatever, this cyborg guy is definitely working for illegal. And also, so far we have seen many androids and robots that seems to have more heart. And granted, this is a cyborg, meaning that he does have human parts, but I have a very big feeling he discarded most of his humanity because he considers emotions a weakness. But he still has an ether gear. I do wonder if we're ever gonna dive into that. I mean, as I said before, Eden Zero is one of those mangas I'm looking forward to reading most now. Because even though I'm still not so sure about what the plot is heading towards, except of course finding the sisters and go to mother, I'm still feeling very excited about it. Maybe it's the characters. So this is basically the chapter. Pretty good, and I like the soul connection line. But this despair in the air, that makes me worried. But you can give me your thoughts if you have any.